At a glance, this appears to be a regular elevator door. Plain, silent, forgettable. But no one would imagine what stood behind these doors. An illustrious staircase, rising unexpectedly, wrapped in polished wood and lined with books embedded directly into the walls. A hidden ascent where knowledge frames every step, and where the grandeur concealed behind something so ordinary becomes strikingly clear. This staircase doesn't just reflect wealth, it reflects power, and the knowledge that often comes with it. The craftsmanship is undeniable. Rich wood paneling, brass railings, soft, deliberate lighting, and lining the walls with books, not as an afterthought but as structure, knowledge literally built into the architecture. This is a space designed to project authority, to signal intelligence, to command respect before a single word is spoken. Every step upward feels intentional, as if access itself is something to be earned. And that's what makes this room such a stark reminder. Because behind this elegance, behind this cultivated image of refinement and intellect, lie allegations that shock the world. Allegations that may possibly be related to the biggest sex trafficking case of our generation. This staircase reminds us that power doesn't always look threatening. Sometimes it looks educated. Sometimes it looks cultured. Sometimes it looks trustworthy. And with that prior knowledge, this room becomes a visual contradiction, a monument to knowledge and influence, standing in the shadow of alleged misconduct that calls all of it into question. In the end, it's a reminder that intelligence and elegance do not equal innocence, and that some of the darkest chapters unfold in the most polished rooms. And this is where the ascent ends. At the top of the staircase, the house opens onto a private landing, and on the wall, hung prominently, is a formal portrait of a distinguished academic figure from Harvard University. But here's where the contrast matters. Jeffrey Epstein was not a Harvard graduate. He didn't earn a college degree. He was never an alumnus. This is a documented fact. And yet Epstein cultivated deep ties to Harvard University through substantial donations, access, influence. He even received an unearned appointment as a visiting fellow, a title that suggested academic legitimacy without the credentials to support it. This landing captures that contradiction perfectly. The surroundings speak the language of scholarship and prestige. The portrait signals intellectual authority. The setting implies acceptance into an elite world Epstein was never formally part of. What remains, according to public records and cited reporting, is a man who positioned himself inside institutions he never qualified for, who borrowed the appearance of intellect, and who wrapped himself in symbols of knowledge he did not earn. This space doesn't just mark the top of the staircase, it marks the peak of an illusion, a reminder that proximity